Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the Cronkite Show in social media history. I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone. Every night on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, they rant and raving about the one and only five-star general. Houston is suffering in a lot of areas because you refuse to listen. Tonight, we're going to have an interesting conversation about how I really feel about that. Let's get to it, man. Say, man, I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone and tell you thank you. Because without you guys, I would not have a show. It's an honor and a pleasure to be able to come and sit down and talk to you. I want to start it off with this here because I keep telling you, ain't nothing gonna change.
Families rush to the field house, of course, to pick up their kids, waiting anxiously to be reunited with their loved ones. Families were reunited at a recreation center nearby, and that is where we find NBC5's Katie Blakey. She continues our live team coverage. Katie.
Yeah, Meredith, fear, relief, frustration. We heard it from parents and children as they were at this rec center. They were grateful is okay, but overwhelmed by what shooting in another place. Kids are supposed to have fun.
We can't. They're not safe at school. They're not safe anywhere.
Somewhere Duncanville Fieldhouse were just beginning when chaos unfolded.
And our director pushed us to the corner. And as soon as she got the door shut, we heard like at least 7 to 8 rounds going off.
Confronted and shot a gunman inside. Children were by rec center as parents waited anxiously to hug them. The pause to pray.
18-year-old Naomi was helping out with the youngest campers, ages 4 to 6.
The shooter actually came to our door. And he said that if we didn't let him see who he wanted to see, that he was going to shoot the place up. And he shot at the glass door, and the glass started to fall. And I just started to craven because that's all I could do. That's all I thought about.
She and others tried to focus on keeping the little ones calm.
There were a good 6 other adults, 7 maybe. We held it up. We did, and a lot of them were willing to give up their lives for these kids. And I'm glad I know it.
It just should not be something that is so matter of fact and normal. This is not normal. It's just not.
Not normal, but now all too common as more parents are left wondering how to make their children feel safe again.
That's the challenge. That's what we're getting ready to go do now. We'll talk to our kids and explain to them that this is the day we live in, and make sure that this traumatic experience that they're okay. That's the most important thing, that they're safe.
So much for all of these families to process. Now, authorities in their presser a little bit ago gave no clear decision on what will happen yet with these summer camps moving forward, but we do know counselors will be made available to talk to these staffers and the children about what they witnessed. We're live in Duncanville. Katie Blakey, NBC5.
Told you after the last shooting that they ain't gonna stop. It's gonna always be something. I started the program off with that because that is a part of the problem. We don't want to, we're past the warning sign stage. We don't want to adhere to the warning signs. And we don't want to adhere to the messages. No matter what the issue may have been for almost the last 2.5 years, I've been bringing you the real. And some nights is not what you want to hear. But I really want you to understand that I didn't ask to be in the position that I'm in. I didn't ask to be the guy that's trying to save the world. I didn't wake up and want to do that. This is what God told me to do. So it's a lot of days that I bring you the truth, and it's not what you want to hear. It's not what you want to hear. Whether you're a teacher with a disgruntled school, with a messed up school district and you're disgruntled, whether you're a parent whose child is being messed over, whether it's your job, whether it's crime, school shootings, whatever, you refuse to listen. Now I'm going to speak in a manner tonight. I'm going to let the higher power speak through me to you. You don't have to believe me. Because honestly, I could wake up and not give a damn if you died today. But I'm going to let him speak through me. You refuse to listen. You don't like the messenger. I'm only one of the messengers. But you don't like the real messengers. I had to block a lady today because I reported something about HISD. And I reported the fact that they're committing Medicaid fraud. And she done started her own union, Michelle Williams. God bless you. And she gets on there, teachers don't charge for Medicaid. The teachers submit the paperwork through eShores. They make phone calls, and the reason I know because a few years back at Davis, I had a client, and we recorded the conversation with her calling eShores to find out how do they charge, these school districts. But see, that's a prime example. You got your head so far up somebody's behind. You got yourself in 60 or 70 schools with your union that you're willing to overlook anything negative about the school district because you don't want it to affect your bottom line. You're not in the business to help people. You're in the business to help yourself. And see, we're being governed and we're being led by people that are money driven. See, all of this is about money. So God has already shown me and told me he's going to take the money away from them. He has his time set to do it. And when it happens, it happens. You don't want to respect the messenger. I had somebody hit me today telling me about how Principal Alan Summers was removed from Sam Houston High School, HISD. He's being replaced with a Latino. And then close to the end of the message, they tell me that what am I going to do about it? Maybe you in bed with these people. Well, first of all, if you ain't a woman that's intelligent, I ain't in bed with you. I don't get in bed with school districts, partner. Let's get that straight. Secondly, a few years back, was it not I at Sam Houston High School battling because Alan Summers was nothing but a racist, fighting to get him to come out of his office and speak to me? Was that me? Did I do that live on Facebook? Did I stand in the boardroom and voice my concern for African American and white principals possibly being removed because that's what the Latino regime wanted? Wasn't that I? See, I gave you your warning sign. You didn't want to listen. So this is what my reply basically was. It doesn't matter if they love him. He was a racist. I'm just telling you what it was. I know that for a fact. I'm just telling you what it was. I know that for a fact. But this was my reply. When I stood and fought for exactly what you're saying, you were nowhere to be found. Just like a bunch of people were nowhere to be found. This is now your problem. Fix it. See, there needs to be balance when you're fighting these situations. And see, you always have me over here basically by myself fighting $1 billion bully while everybody else who's cowards won't open their mouth, won't say nothing, won't line up with me. But as soon as I figured out, everybody won't take credit for what I did. And I'm cool with that. If that's how you get your rocks off, then do what you need to do. But the things that you text me in that text this morning were the things that I fought for. So now they're going to remove your great white hope and replace him with a Latino, and you are offended? What were you those years he was over there, being racist towards the black children? So I'm not fighting that battle. And honestly, I'm not finna fight a whole bunch of battles. You want to know what? Let's talk economics. You want to talk economics? Let's talk economics. Let's talk money. This is my 13th year battling for kids all over, especially HISD. I go everywhere. And for 3 to 4 of those years, I didn't make a dime. It just worked. Ain't nobody offer me nothing. But now, after those first 3 years, 10 years later, 13 years total, I got my business where I want it. Does it make sense for me, from an economic standpoint, to keep battling these people to fix a problem that could eventually stop me from making money? I want you to think about that for a second. So from an economic standpoint, why do I want the school district fixed right now? Guess whose phone blowing up? Mine. Guess who's the only line of defense for a lot of people? Me. And it ain't about the fact that there's revenue involved. It's the fact that you don't listen. It's the fact that you don't listen. It's like Michelle Williams. She thinks she's the best thing since sliced bread. And you should feel like that when you run your own company. But baby, stop coming on my page trying to tell me what I already know. You don't know nothing. You think you do. You think that you know. You're a union. Do you go into consultation once a month for HISD? No, because you ain't figured out how to get past that board for. Worry about your business and let me worry about mine. Now, in all actuality, I say a lot of stuff, but when have they been able to prove me wrong? So my question to you is, should I keep fighting these battles? Because honestly, according to what God has put on my heart, the Houston Independent School District is about to implode. It's going to implode. It's going to go to hell before it ever gets better. And you know what that means? Do you know what that means? It's only a select few of us that are going to be able to represent the slew of people that are going to get got. The Houston Independent School District is a cesspool. Nothing better than Sodom and Gomorrah. But guess what? I'm tired of fighting them. I'm tired of battling for people that don't appreciate it. I don't mind representing kids at all. But you grown ass people that got these issues that won't stand up for yourself, you're trash. You're garbage. You want me to sugarcoat this conversation, but I can't. I've given you warning signs. You refuse to listen. I'm going to give you an example. You took a raise for 11%, $15 an hour for support staff. Most of this was funded through ESSER money, federal pandemic money. So what happens when the money runs out? Did you sell your soul? Because when the money runs out, they're going to have to cut positions. But you know what they'll never be able to cut? Those union dues that those people got from you. Those union dues that they're going to keep getting from you until the day they terminate you. Will you be terminated? You will either resign or you will be terminated in a matter of 24 months. God has told me to tell you the truth. And I've told you. It's no way in hell. I can see why our kids struggle in mathematics and reading, because one, y'all don't read. Two, you don't understand basic mathematics. Take your little $2,000 raise and break it down. It averages about $7 a day extra. So you're comfortable. You're worth $7 a day for money that's not guaranteed after 2 years. You are going to lose your career. I didn't say I think you're going. You are going to lose your career. Don't say I didn't warn you. I've been saying for years, people been getting paid under the table on the board. Why ain't none of these unions really have nothing to say about that shit? Because y'all one of the ones paying them. You see what I'm saying? Y'all don't listen. You don't listen. And then all of a sudden I come off looking like the bad guy. And because I tell the truth, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I don't care what you do. I don't care how you do it anymore. I'm good. I'll work the assignments I choose to work. This is why you don't see me doing press conferences. I'm not finna bust my head open for some people that don't fucking get it. I'm not finna rack my brain trying to save, all these kids when y'all people turn y'all back on them every day. I'm one superhero against 40 million villains. And you turn your back on them on a daily. And then you can't understand or figure out why things are so bad. It's that way because that's the way you want it and the way that you've made it. Idiocy is a trait that you develop. Stupidity is something you're not born with. It's something you practice and you develop. And that's why some days I sit in the room and I am the smartest person in the room. Because some of the decisions I see you guys making, I would never make them. If I have to go and think to myself, is this something bad that I will have to live with if I make this decision? I don't make that decision. I don't make it. I don't have time. I'm not gonna put myself in a situation that I don't need to be in. I'm not gonna do it. So if you look at where we are some days, it's because that's right where we want to be. If you look at where we are as people some days, look at what you did today to help the advancement of our people. If you did nothing, you ain't worth shit. The way I feel about it. We got so much wrong with us, but yet we ain't got the army ready to do anything. And like the good doctor teaches me, it's more of us than it is of them. They're just organized. We are totally dysfunctional. This is why we can't get nothing done. This is why we can't get ahead. We are totally dysfunctional. And we don't understand why we at the bottom of the pecking order. When, a lot of days you may feel we're there because people have held us back, and I get it. But a lot of days we're at the bottom of the pecking order because of decisions that we made. That's like right now. I see, I'm in Minneapolis. They don't get them hurricanes like we get, but I see y'all partying and gallivanting. Is you ready for hurricane season because it's coming? No. You're not ready. You're too busy hanging out at the trail ride or pussy popping on Friday night. You've done nothing to prepare. But when it happens, you're the first one in the begging line to beg for what you want. Yeah. I'm just telling you the truth of how I feel. I'm just telling you the truth of how I feel. When it's all said and done, there has to be somewhere for me. What I mean by that, and I said it in a song. Man, I did this song about 15 years ago. I started off by saying, I done did too much dirt to go to heaven, but I done showed too much love to go to hell. So there's got to be somewhere for me. But I accept the consequences of my actions. And that's what you have to start doing. A lot of the things that we are facing in the city of Houston is because we refuse to listen. We refuse to listen. A lot of the issues, like on crime, how many times have I been to city council? They won't listen. Now it's out of control. You had a 7-year-old kid get shot in the chest last night in his house. If you would have listened and would have done something about the crime when it first started getting bad, we would not be where we are. But you wouldn't listen. So now, because you did not listen, seniors are getting murdered. Everyday people are getting murdered. Women are being murdered and assaulted and dismembered. Kids are being killed because you didn't listen. When I told you we had a gang issue, it was easy to deal with. You didn't listen. How many documented gang members we got in Houston now? About 50,000. When all you had was a little bitty problem, but you wouldn't listen. Talk to me. I don't know everything. I just know what I know. When I told you that if you don't do something about this school system, it's going to attribute to crime and it's going to help your crime rate go up. You didn't listen. And you know why you didn't listen? Because you're like Judith Cruz, Elizabeth Santos. You're like people that sit on city council. You're like Rodney Ellis. You're like Lena Hidalgo. You dumb motherfuckers think you know everything. And you really don't know nothing. I really think, and this is God telling me this as I'm talking, that when you go to church and you know you got to pay your tithes, why don't the church just say, we need everybody to pay it by credit card? Y'all collecting this money, them dudes finna start coming up in them churches, man. They know where the money is on Sundays. They're going to start coming up in those churches. And they're going to start hurting people in those churches. I'm just telling you what God telling me. You don't have to listen. You normally don't. But eventually you will have no choice. As it pertains to our school system, there shall be no ark. There shall be no Noah. As it pertains to the Houston Independent School District, there shall be 40 days and 40 nights of nothing but rain coming your way. And when it comes, God is going to wipe out everything. Whether it's the people inside of the school system, the politicians, the pastors, the former politicians, all of you will be wiped out according to God. The things that you guys are doing and allowing, since the pastors care so much about our youth, when are they going to speak up about the porn on the library, in the libraries, on our shelves in our schools? They can't do that because they make too much money off it actually being there. God is coming to wipe it clean. I'm not guessing on that. I know. Do you see the look of peace in my face? I'm at peace. Because you know what? I know he's not going to bother me. Because I've been doing what he told me to do. God is coming through Harris County, and he's going to wipe it clean. You know, the sad part is you need to do it like this here because it's the way we've been doing it forever. So you comfortable with the fact that you've been fucking people forever? Black people, white people, Latino, Tiano, Asian, everybody. Are you comfortable knowing that you've been screwing people forever? I'm comfortable knowing that I will no longer do all this stuff that y'all are blowing my goddamn phone to say, man, let me show you something. Because people think I be lying. Can you see this? Let's see. Hold on. Let's go back. Okay. All right. That's my call log. That's my call log. Do you see those times? Say, man, that's my call log on a daily. But you're calling me to save you. But yet you deny me in public. If you deny me in public, I refuse to help you. I get an inbox. I get tagged on a post 2 days ago. I never responded. And as bad as I wanted to, God told me, don't you do it. You denied me, but yet you blow my phone up in private for me to fix your problem. Excuse my French. Nigga, please. You will suffer the consequences of your actions. You will deal with every single indiscretion that you have made. God put this whole country on notice, and a lot of y'all still didn't get it. I sat still when I needed to sit still. I moved when I needed to move, even in the pandemic. And you notice I never had any problems. I see the comments. Darryl Thompson say, deny you in public, but want your help in secret. Yep. And I've stopped helping. Miss White says, and if they were to apologize to you, that apology gotta be as loud as the disrespect. But the issue that I have with it, Miss White, I don't want the apology. See, words are like bullets. Once you shoot them, you can't take them back. So apology don't mean nothing, because when you said what you said, when you did what you did, you meant what you did. And you meant what you said at the time that you did it. It is what it is. I don't want an apology, and I'm not bitter, I'm not upset. Nothing. I'm comfortable. You feel me? So, you know, I'm here for a couple of days, and then I gotta get ready to jet out and go do what I do next. Yes, sir. It's almost that time. I love doing my music, and I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna be great at doing what I do. I know in the city of Houston, thanks to my good friend McDuffie, they're gonna unleash Take It to the Trail ride at one of the biggest rides in Houston. He even offered me to perform. I'm good. Just play the song all day. See, I got something else going on, because I ain't got time to be dealing with all this foolishness. So what I'm gonna do, y'all, it's a little short tonight. I got work to do. I want to thank you for taking time out, those that believe in me. Thank you so much. But y'all that's been fighting around, he coming. And you will pay the reaper when he comes. Sometimes you need to listen to the warning signs.